Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's snowy outside. Now we see winter. For this class, my humble mind to prepare 2 pages of printout. Okay. So we actually revert to the basics of regular system in the United States. This what actually depicts charts about the judicial system and the what called each rank of courts and in hierarchy to get to have ideas about appeal in the United States or any jurisdictional understanding how the court operates interactively to ensure the spirit of Constitution and actually common law system. And one other shared for the institutions, federal agencies often critical to impose regulations, create rules to affect the public lives of United States citizens. You see, they are generally empowered to create the rules and implement public policies to the interest of enterprises, or in some cases, environmental protection, or the kind of public goals or objective pursued to benefit the rule of government. So 2 pages each. Okay. Let me deliver pages. Paradoxically, the government of the United States what actually has long continued on controversy what size of government is proper or adequate. The big government or small government. Fiscal administration has often been questioned by public. So it is fiscal sustainability is one ideal. We generally expect that the government should keep watchful about their management or operation of a public function, responsibility. So how do you see the kind of usual stories heralded in newspaper or fiscal deficit crisis? It's actually pivotally interrelated with kind of democracy. So the economy is not a factor isolated from rule of law or general system of government. The kind of executive branch would be direct of its consequence, its policy elements to be actually, in some cases, a flat budget or diminished scale of budget would be proper. But nonetheless, we still see some demand in generating a public good. So consider the very powerful dichotomy between private and public sectors, actually very penetrating through the philosophy and also our social mind and concern, or the justice concept of justice kind of debate. The branches or bureaus, what the federal agencies would often be confronted with the kind of methods. Actually, how do you distinguish between public and private goods? The market failure is one contributor, or actually most influential to create a paradigm under which we now contemplate many important public issues and others. Market failure and what is the concept? For example, what a non-rival or what a actually kind of non-exclusion. So, what is the role of government intrinsically? Actually, we generally consider inherently a governmental function. You will perhaps encounter the kind of terms occasioned in the case laws or others. What is inherently governmental function? So that function could not be transferred. For example, privatization is a fairly prevailing concept to be applied in decades or recent period of time. You will see, for example, many privatization programs or the kind of policy option to transfer government access to private enterprise as well. And EU and European nations generally actually have many public enterprises. They operate public enterprises are formed. We have electricity generation, kind of a public transport system, even school system is public in the European Union, and many nuclear facilities or airline businesses, industries. In contrast, the United States generally has less share of public enterprises. Many important businesses or crucial elements in terms of national economy have been managed by private firms. So privatization could be approached in different sensibility when we deal with kind of questions like privatization is good or bad. Is it desirable policy option which could be adaptable to our situation or challenges? Often United States has less prone to advance the privatization preference or kind of that is partly because of that basic difference between European nations and the United States. Nevertheless, we also see a massive evolution and the kind of transformation that the US policymakers, notwithstanding federal, local, or state, now very active to apply the kind of a privatization option. So they may entertain the kind of 90 years lease period for public airport. Chicago is one major city in the United States, located in the Midwest, and Chicago Airport was actually seen as a kind of government-owned property. Government ownership has long controlled kind of a Chicago airport business. They transfer the assets to private owners and lease it back for 90 years. What does pose any implications in terms of social justice or economic efficiency or the kind of justice between generations? You see, for example, the sacrifice could well be anticipated against the interest of a future generations. So public assets could be sold. What does it mean? Oh, actually, very amazing to occasion the kind of a transaction deals. Government may argue the provision has been reserved on part of a governmental authority. They actually would have their entitlement to provide the services in the name of government. Actually, the production has been assumed and actually falls within the responsibility with the private forms of businesses. So what does it mean? Actually, how could we assure the kind of concept, public responsibility, accountability from private suppliers or providers? So general paradigm of economy and also fiscal administration would pertain to the understanding of American legal system. Legal system, that is one illustration in sectorial interest, what a fiscal administration, what we brief. It's very intrinsic to pose challenges. What is justice? Actually, the government is very influential actor as you chart of history of capitalism, or you perhaps have chance to read the article prepared by Professor Bohemian. Perhaps the proceeding has been submitted to the graduate Department of Law, and we decided to publish the article. So you may explore chance to have some reading the article. Very argumentative and very well prepared to show the kind of historical evolution of cooperation theory, kind of many series to be fluctuating along with the quest and historical strands of capitalism demanded by public in a time period, as a situation contingencies would actually affect the concept of public efficiency or social justice. And you also see the kind of philosophical circle in understanding the American legal system. What is realism? Realist understanding of American laws and system of government will prevail the society of the United States. So the mainstream of legal the kind of scholarship and jurisprudence in the United States need to be shared from that perspective. You will see is some very notorious scholar, for example. What is that? Sorry to call his name instantly. Actually, this a sociology of law, generally a main thought in shaping the better way about the legal understanding in the United States. So I have once expounded the kind of line of thoughts in the United States academy law. And Justice Holmes will be famous to strike your head about the operation of law. The judge would deliver a statement to resolve the conflicts. That will be all for the case. And judge also required of kind of a deep thought and philosophical deliberation about consequence of his judging, how it could be fabricated to cover comprehensively the kind of ideas of kind of relationships involving laws and social justice. So judge could have a deep engagement in premeditation of that consequence. So sociological exercise of his statement or court opinion should be actually explored in genuine response involving the kind of dispute. So that is